All right, Black Box Radio. We are in the box. The FiTT TWiNz are back. We took a little break for Black History Month, but we're back, guys. And you see, we got a lot of brown on the screen today. We got 3 Black women in space, and I love it. The Sista Circle is hot and popping today. So I'm Queen from Black Box Radio. I am a host here. We are a media platform for Black excellence. We platform Black people. We platform Black genius, and we disseminate information to the Black community. But we also humanize our experience to other communities that are not familiar with the Black experience. So that's very important. So also I have a co-host. Well, I think I'm her co-host actually. And my girl D. So introduce yourself, D. Then we're going to talk to our special guest.
Hello, greetings. My name is D.Amaadi Queen, aka the Belly Therapist and founder of FiTT TWiNz. I do personal training, online fitness classes, and I specialize in belly therapy. So I help get the midsection right after, I don't want to say right, but I help shrink the midsection after mom has had baby. And that's me.
Okay. The belly therapist. That's you. All right. So listen, you guys ain't ready. We got a lot of mess on the screen going on. Y'all ain't ready. We got a lot of mess in the building. So we have a special guest tonight. Listen, I've been really so excited to talk to her. She's doing such great things. Her brand is fire. Everybody knows that it is fire. Look at them glasses. She ain't nothing but style, y'all. Nothing but style. So we have Miss Kalilah here today.
Hey y'all. What's up, twins? What's up?
What's up? Tell us a little bit about you and your brand and how did you come up with this? Because it's so catchy.
So again, my name is Kalilah Wright. I am the owner and founder of Mess in a Bottle. So Mess in a Bottle, we are an apparel brand. We put messages on t-shirts and they come packaged in a reusable bottle. So I started Mess in a Bottle in 2016 here in Baltimore, Maryland, shortly after the Freddie Gray uprising. Freddie Gray, an African-American male, he died while in police custody. And so it really prompted me to want to create like messages for, our people to really feel vocal. I felt like the time really suppressed our voice. And I wanted to give a voice to the voiceless. And I started making these, t-shirts with messages to kind of help give our people a voice. And so that is how the birth of Mess in a Bottle happened.
Wow, that's so dope. That's just so dope. I just love it. Message, mess, just a lot going on. You played on that word and you succeeded.
Yeah, the message is the message.
So you have a lifestyle, huh?
I said, or maybe the message is in the mess. A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. Like that. I like that. So you have a lifestyle brand, of course, and it does send, and I love the wording. It's so bold, you can't miss it. And so what do you think is, can you put anything on a shirt? Do you put anything that you feel on a shirt or
no. Okay. Sometimes I be wanting to be like, beep, 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 beep. And no, in all seriousness, I have learned, that like everything, one, isn't a t-shirt. Two, I have learned that just the message all in all, like the beauty of Mess in a Bottle is that I try to create like kind of, we are conversation starters. So I try my best to create messages that make you think, that make you start a conversation, that make you ask a question, so sometimes I know it's not the easiest thing because sometimes, how you may feel or what you might want to say, may come with profanity, may come with a little anger, may come with, but I think that sometimes I have to stop, rewrite, erase, start again. Or realize that it's just not even a topic that I could touch with a message, like maybe right now I can't articulate or formulate a sentence or a message fitting for a t-shirt. So, I mean, I don't think anything goes on a shirt. Like we've also had a lot of people who will come to us and they'll ask us to put a whole bunch of different things on a shirt. And, and we've had to say no, only because, again, it's not reflective of my brand. It's not reflective of like who I am and, and my ethics or my standards.
I like that because some things on shirts I think shouldn't be on shirts.
Right.
So, yeah, so that doesn't make sense. But I do see, as I've been scrolling through your website, a lot of the messages are empowering. They inspire. So that's a great thing because the wording is big, and if it didn't do that, that would probably be some issues. So I like seeing that, and I'm like, wow, I might need to be your little protege. You got to send me some tips over the email, sis. Get my shirts up to that. So
Yes.
I really like that. So okay, we're talking about fitness too. So are you doing a little fit? What are you doing in your fit life?
Yeah, I think Amaadi and I, we've crossed paths like that because I just feel like, I have a little page. I only post some food there, but it's called Eat More Mess. And it's an Instagram page.
Go ahead.
It's my Instagram page. And, what I do really is I kind of put different things in it. I make a mess in the kitchen to make it like more of, a healthy alternative. So I've been running marathons, I'm going to run my 3rd marathon this year. And yeah, I think it's been a really great experience because I just think, what is life like if you don't challenge yourself to do, things that you don't think you can do? And so again, I may not be the healthiest or the fittest. And that's a whole part of the mess. And I really want women to look at someone like me and feel empowered to know that they too can run a marathon or walk 10 miles if they really wanted to, like things like that. I think that is, I think that is really dope. And so, it's something that I just adapted a love for, and it just forces me to be fit or healthy. I'm not trying to be, I'm not always trying to like lose the most weight or, I don't know, abs seem to have jumped past me and, whatever. And so that's not, I'm not going there, but I think for the most part, like I'm good with just a healthy alternative, like for living. I just hate that. I feel like a lot of our people struggle with like health and wellness. And I just see that a lot of our community is sometimes plagued with medicine and having to like take a bunch of medicine, for their life and for their livelihood, just to walk, just to, do certain things. And so, to me, it just starts with how we eat, what we eat, and, and just keeping the movement going. So yeah, I think my fitness journey is just creating a healthy mess.
And I can testify to that because me and Kalilah have run several times.
Wow.
And she's seen me cry going up these hills. Baltimore is hilly. You don't realize until you hit the streets on with your tennis shoes and you running. When you're in the car, you ain't really paying. Well, at least I'm not paying attention. So she took me up this one hill. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. She was like, we doing this. I was like, I don't know if I could do it. And I ran a half marathon, and I have been running for the past 10 years or so, but ain't nothing prepared me for that hill. But seeing the back of her helped me get up the hill. So she's definitely an inspiration in so many different ways, And it's interesting that I'm actually glad that you brought that up, like the abs and how it kind of passed you, and you're not, just because someone's abs aren't shown doesn't mean they aren't healthy. Just because someone might be slightly overweight doesn't mean that they're unhealthy. Absolutely. Just because someone is at the ideal weight doesn't mean that they are healthy.
Correct. So and that's a good thing to bring up because I think that a lot of times, like, but don't get me wrong, because I want to say that there is a point though too where we have to still look at the excess weight and still realize that, because I do know a lot of people who feel like, well, I like one of my greatest friends, she is severely overweight, and she used to always tell me, she's like, well, I've been to the doctor, my pressure isn't high, my this isn't that, my that isn't that, and I'll be like, okay, but you might be this close.
Yeah, and you just wait on it. It's gonna walk you down.
Right. Yeah, and those were the things that, like, I think sometimes, tricks us because we think, and so even for myself, like, I may feel seemingly healthy, but at the end of the day, like there's like weight in certain areas that I know can contribute to other like health issues if I don't like do something about it. And that's the thing. And like you said, someone who can be really skinny may feel like I'm at great health because but they can't run up and down a step or, things like that. So I think that there's just one of those things that you have to really know your body and just make sure that I think that the weight itself, like I think Black women were so good with like, oh, I'm curvy and I'm, and I love all of that. I love seeing it, but I'm also starting to realize like, that's how the high blood pressure is coming in. That's how the sugar is coming in.
Extra curves, they hold weight.
Yes.
Them hips hold weight, shorty.
Okay. And then the hips is matching the gut and the gut.
And this is such a rich moment in our conversation because, I've been thinking as a personal trainer, where do I draw the line between body positivity, healthy, Black women in particular, and the BMI? Because I recently found out that the BMI was actually based off of 19th century white males.
Wow.
So with that information, and I knew that it wasn't based on Black.
We know it was off.
Right? We knew it wasn't based on Black women, but
I knew it was off, but I didn't know it was white males. Come on.
19th century, so 100 some odd years ago, that white male, which was a lot smaller than today's
white man,
right? So, but then the other part of it is like, well, what do we have? I mean, this is all we have really, other than how we feel, blood tests to check hormone levels, how we're eating, how much we're working out. But, it's true, Black women, we're a bit more curvy, we're a bit more heavy. 80% of us are overweight. And so how do we draw that line? Like, where is the line, or can the line even be drawn between body positivity and, like you said, Kalilah, like your friend, like she feeling like she's safe because she don't have any negative results back from her doctor, but you were saying she's clearly overweight, and I'm not sure if she works out or if she's eating healthy, because some people just retain the weight. It could be because of trauma, it could be genetic, I don't know what it is. So can we draw that line?
So what I've been again, I don't know the answer, but I do know and I think I'll say this, I don't know if there's a line to be drawn, but I'm an advocate of like us taking care of ourselves, and so I try my best not to like put on, and look, everybody that watches, they're gonna be like, girl, you lying. I try my best not to like, but I'll say to my friends, and I think because I'm venturing into a healthier space, like, I'm like, girl, now you don't need that for breakfast. Like, I'm like looking at some of my friends like, that's not even appropriate for breakfast. I don't even know what that is. Like, you need a smoothie, you need something that's not, and so I think, and I'm also like, I think I'm more just promoting. I'm not, of course, trying to shame my friends or anything, but I'm trying to be more like a check-in. Like even literally yesterday, one of my students, I call her my daughter. I used to teach her when I taught here in Baltimore, and I keep in touch with her. And like, we keep in touch on like, we see each other on Nike Run. And I noticed, I look down and I have almost 40 miles and she has 2. And I know she wanted to run like I think a half marathon soon. And so the first thing I did when I saw that, I said, daughter, what's up? Like, why you at 2 miles? What's happening? And she said, you know what? I needed to hear that. And she was like, in that moment, she went out, she did like 3-4 miles, and she sent me a picture, and she was like, I needed to hear that to get myself moving. And so I think that sometimes too, I think we all might need a nudge. And I know, like, I'll nudge people, but after a while, like, I ain't nudging you no more. Like, you got this, you ain't doing nothing, that's what you want to do, but I'll say to my assistant, I'll say to my best friend, I'm like, I'm trying to encourage other people, other women to say like, run a half marathon, run a 10K with me, run a 5K with me, like whatever it is, just to start. And I was just going to add to this. I've been doing something since the beginning of this month. I've been running 3 miles a day. I missed one day only because it was freezing outside, hailing, and it was a mess. And I was like, I ain't going back out there. So I missed one day so far out of, the amount of days that we've had this month. And but I will say I've also ran extra on some days, so I'm actually right on task.
Okay.
but I've been running 3 miles a day, and it's been surprisingly like sort of so good. Like, 3 miles, it's like it does take me about 40-45 minutes some days, and a lot of days I'm like, oh brother, like, it's this big thing that sort of, and it's just crazy how 45 minutes, less than an hour of your day, you're always feeling like this thing working out has impeded, so much of your day. And I'm just like, I had to remind myself, like, all the time, I'm like, you better go do that. You better go run. And, and I think that 3 miles a day, I'm just trying to do something for myself when it comes to discipline, and when it comes to like just owning something and not giving up on it, and and stuff like that. Because I'll run, but I realize I'll start, I'll stop, I'll start, I'll stop. Sure. And so I'm just really like forcing myself. And I think the last thing I'll say, because I'm rambling, is also, I don't think that people realize that you also have to push yourself a little bit more, than what you're already used to. And I think that's what Amaadi felt when she came to run with me, because it's like, we did like it was your fastest mile, and that was hard.
Oh, you mean the 1 mile thing at night? He tried to kill me that night too. Oh my God.
He did like,
and look, before that, I think it had been months. I think
yes,
since I had run, and I'm like, yeah, we got this, girl. I felt like I'm about to have a stroke.
But that was the good thing. I feel like some days it's like, again, you gotta push yourself.
You gotta push yourself.
Because even me, I run my 3 miles, and because it's been cold and all that, I've been sometimes doing it in the gym. But that has nothing compared to if you do 3 miles outside.
Nothing.
And I run with a running group, and on Wednesday nights they run at, in the night. And when I tell you them 3 miles be feeling like 14, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I'm happy it's over. And so, I think sometimes too, you have to push yourself to run faster, to, pick up more, to use more of your body, like, or whatever it is, like whether you're working out, you gotta push yourself, because if not, you're going to start, you just level out and you get comfortable, and it's almost like it's pointless.
Very
wow.
true.
Yeah, that's true. Listen, I'm so glad you guys are familiar with each other. You're just having a conversation. I love it. But I got 3 points. First of all, like with my friends, like we said, how to draw the line, because we are curvy and these hips do hold weight. And a lot of us are built with I think that's the pear, where your weight is usually at the bottom and not the apple. So a lot of us are built like that. And I try to, when we start having outings that's not centered around food. I think a lot of times when we go out, the first thing we want to do is
eat. Liquor.
And and I don't drink anymore. That's one thing too. Liquor too. It's what we're choosing to eat, and then everything is centered around food. And sometimes we can go out and not eat anything, or eat or decide to eat fruit, or decide to eat, or not even go to a restaurant. Let's do something outside. So I want to center some of my outings with my girlfriends when we do go out, not to be centered around food, because when you love to eat, you always want to try to eat something. That foodie thing can get you in trouble, trying food all over the place. So I think that's the thing, because I have some friends too. They say, oh, my pressure's good. I don't have sugar diabetes. But one thing is, as you get older, your body cannot work the same way it works when it's young. And sometimes it walks you down. When you have all this extra flesh for your body to work with. And let me see, what else did you guys say? Because you guys said a lot. Today, I rode my bike for 15 miles, and I was telling Amaadi is the reason is gas. So I tell people, listen, gas is high. Get on the bike, ride where you need to go. You know what I'm saying? Or walk to the store and walk back. We got to find ways to make excuses sometimes to stay, in a fitness level. Because today, I'm like, listen, if I got a grocery store, I got to go back 6 times. I'm not starting that car up, so I take a little, go back, something like that. Just try to trick yourself. Like you said, motivate yourself to do something. And last thing, I always want to join people's groups, but I'm never running with you guys. You ain't got to worry. I do not run.
1-2 step. You could do a little.
I do not run. So I'll ride my bike beside you.
I like the biking groups too. I'm like, I don't know how do you. I mean, maybe I gotta try it, but I'm like, when people are like, they done bike 50 miles and 30 miles. I'm like, how? But
it's really easy, you
It's
know.
easy.
That's what they said. So maybe, yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't be getting on a bike long enough.
Yeah, because I went out with D.Amaadi and she said no hills. I'm like, how you don't go up hills? I'm like,
because Kalilah traumatized me on foot.
So now that's it.
And then she said never again. I said, dang, one time.
No, it was fine. No, it was good. It was good. But my seat,
Yeah, that's right. Your seat.
The seat gotta be right. Gotta be right.
Yeah, my seat was not right.
It gotta be right. The bike, I think you can go farther and you can see more a lot of times, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of times I just go out because I'm like, damn, what's around the corner? Because when you're in a car, the world is faster. The bike slows the world down, you know.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I like. All right. So you're a runner, marathon. So why are you doing these whole marathons? That's 26, right?
26.2.
Oh, don't forget that point too.
It's just cool to have it, you know, like a doctor. You got a little stuff by your name by the end. That's me, the black girl with the little stuff, you know, with the 3 marathons. Well, about to be third marathon. So, and just trying to get better at it. And just, you know, I think it's something cool for my son to see and for him to, like, you know, really maybe even aspire to do one day. And I just think, again, it motivates other women. And I think that that's really cool.
Okay. Have you done the Baltimore Marathon or?
I did Baltimore half, but I've done, I did New York was my first marathon. And
wow.
It was not the prettiest. So New York was my first. I recently did Paris Marathon a couple of months ago, and my next marathon is Chicago in October.
Wow, my cousin does the New York Marathon.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing any marathon.
Is it more hilly than Baltimore?
It's not more.
Baltimore is a hilly city. Baltimore
is hard. Baltimore, even Baltimore half is serious. But Baltimore is hard. Yeah. That's why they say it's good to train in Baltimore, because like you get to go other places and it doesn't even feel as crazy.
Okay. Because I was choking today coming around Jewel Hill Park. You just don't realize the hills that's in this city.
Yeah, Baltimore is
crazy.
Yeah.
But it really gets you in shape. That's what I like about it. Yeah, but it definitely is very hilly. I want to do the Baltimore. I want to walk. I want to do I think it's a 5K.
Okay, you can definitely do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna do that this year. Yeah, try to raise some awareness and fundraise and do that this year. No marathons, sisters. That's not happening. I got new knees, Kalilah.
Okay, I feel you. All right.
Yeah, we're not hitting no pavement. We got to save these for 30 years, sis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep them fresh.
Exactly. We got to keep them fresh. So, D.Amaadi, what do you have to ask your dear friend? Because you guys are just talking.
Well, I was gonna say maybe we can back up a little bit and talk about, because you mentioned teaching. So and Mess is 6 years old. Just turned 6. So what were you doing, 10 years ago? Like what were you doing before Mess?
Well, before Mess, I was an architect. So I have a master's degree in architecture. And so I was an architect for a large sports retail company here in Baltimore. And so, 10 years ago, I was still like designing spaces and trying to figure out my mess.
Really? Wow. Awesome. I would not. That's amazing. Wow. So now you design shirts. So you architect messages on shirts.
Yeah, I went from space design to, apparel design. I think all through my career, I've always been a designer. And so I think that this is just a different palette, right now.
And where did you teach? What did you teach?
So I used to teach architecture, or they called it AOT at Baltimore Polytechnic Institute. So I used to teach at Poly for a couple of years. And so that was even, before. So I used to teach at least maybe 12 years ago. When I first moved to Baltimore, I was a teacher.
Did you like it?
I appreciate it probably even more now than I did then, of course, because then I was like, get me out of here. But and I miss architecture mainly. But I do think that I appreciate it. I definitely have some really good kids. You know, they still like they're grown-ups now. They laugh at me all the time because they're like, we're not kids anymore. But you know, they were my kids. And it was funny because I was only 10 years older than them. And so you know, a lot of my kids, they thought we were sisters and so you know, it was good. It was very relatable, you know, some of the students. So it's nice now for them to see me and like kind of, you know, see me go from a teacher to now, you know, a popular designer. So a lot of them have followed my journey and they're really excited every time. They're like, that used to be my teacher. And so, you know, it's really cute.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is absolutely awesome. Man, Polly, you know, Polly's big here. The Polly thing. Yeah, that's big here. So do you do fashion shows with your brand, or is strictly
no,
have you done anything like that?
Not really. We don't do any fashion shows. I mean, it's something that we've thought about. Maybe we'll explore in the future. You know, we do vending, some vending events, and you know, Essence Fest and things like that. But you know, yeah.
Okay, because you know the urban game is getting big. The lifestyle brand game is getting big. You know, I think Under Armour blew it up, and and then you have all of these women like Athleta and all these brands that are you know walk and wear, and so I see that becoming a part of fashion now. You know, I see people getting married in sneakers.
Right, for sure.
Real talk, the world is changing, and I'm just
it is. Yeah, and it's embraced. You know.
Yeah, and t-shirts. You know, you would never pay $30 for a t-shirt. When I was younger, you get $5. You know what I'm saying? So t-shirts can be $50. You know,
yeah, they can. They could be in the hundreds now.
Really?
Yeah, Kanye West even put out a plain like white t-shirt, a Gildan t-shirt, and I think it was
not Gildan,
and it was a Gildan t-shirt. Yeah,
you can't tell me
that sold out and like
with nothing on it.
That's the power of marketing.
Barely, yeah. I don't even
Gildan is the worst t-shirt I think out there. To me, I don't know.
They have, I mean, but again, it's you know, people do it, people buy it, and it's the power of marketing, and you have to really understand like how to market, what to do, what things, and they'll sell.
Wow. Well, I'm telling you, if it's $100 and it's a t-shirt, it better massage me, touch me nicely, because that's not happening.
Well, other than t-shirts, what does Mess in a Bottle offer?
We have jackets, bags, accessories now. So we have candles, journals, floor mats, a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, we've ventured into like Mess Plus, which is our plus size division. We have Little Mess, which is like some kids products. So,
and do you have did I dream this or did I see it? Curtains or linen or?
We have shower curtains. We used to have a comforter set as well. We currently are sold out of it, but those were some of the products that we did carry.
Awesome.
Wow. So who does these ideas? Where do they come from? Do you wake up in the middle of the night, or you have a team? How do you guys say, okay, we're going to put that on a shower curtain?
Yeah, I mean, I have a team, but mostly the messages come from me. They're about my like life, current events, things that's happening around me, you know, my reaction to the world, you know, and kind of seeing like what's happening in the world. How do we feel, especially as a Black woman, a Black immigrant woman? So it's just like, you know, most of the times my messages are my reaction.
Well, let's talk about that a little, because I'm listening to you. I hear New York, but you said immigrant. So what's that?
So I was born in Jamaica. I was born in Jamaica, West Indies, but I was raised in Brooklyn, New York. So I lived in Brooklyn for most of my life, and then I moved to Baltimore after undergrad, and I've been in Baltimore ever since. So for a couple of years now, at least maybe 13, 14 years, I've been in Baltimore.
I hear that because, you know, Brooklyn is Jamaica.
Stop playing. It's a little island altogether.
Stop playing. Brooklyn is
where all the Jamaicans go in New York.
Yeah.
Brooklyn? If you go to Brooklyn, Jamaicans run Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's a lot of Jamaicans.
A lot of Jamaicans in Brooklyn. Yes. And I wonder about it. They love Brooklyn. I can say Brooklyn and Canada.
Yeah.
They do those two big.
Yeah.
We're a lot in Florida too.
Yeah, because that's like a 5-minute.
A ride. They can
Yeah.
swim. They swim to Florida,
and it's probably $20. So well, that's okay.
Yeah.
and that's why you go to Florida, you get the Cubans, you get the Jamaicans, but in New York, Brooklyn, if you want to, I mean, they're everywhere in New York, but definitely Brooklyn. Definitely Brooklyn. Okay, and so you came here to go to, but you went to University of Maryland. Where'd you go to school?
No, I went to Morgan, and so I graduated from Morgan with the
master's. Make me jump out this seat, sis.
With the master's in architecture. But I went to Penn State University for undergrad.
You went to the National Treasure. I graduated from Morgan too, so I love you more. We two pretty messes right here. Morgan. Oh, that's excellent. That is excellent. Have you seen Morgan lately? Morgan is doing good.
I have seen that they're doing a lot of construction, so I'm proud of it. Just architecturally, it looks really, really good. So these students, they must, because I've seen we have a new architecture building there, and when I was there, we were in like Montebello, which was like for like asylums people or something.
Yeah,
it was like
the buildings I went to school in. They don't even know.
It's like you don't walk down no aisles at like past a certain time of night because you don't know what ghost was
real
in
talk. She telling the truth. I'm telling you, before they built the health sciences building, I think we met in a cave. It was terrible.
It was, it was.
So
deep.
what I see now is just amazing. And you're right, the architecture of the buildings are fire. So
let me ask, when you were in your master's program at Morgan, were you the only woman of color?
Not at Morgan, at Penn State.
Penn State.
Two of us, but
Ivy League.
Yeah. Well, no, the University of Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah, that's University of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, Penn State is a Big Ten, but it's still a really, really
it's a big school.
Yeah. But Penn State, I felt it more than at Morgan. Morgan was very like mixed, though it's still, I mean, we had a couple of Black students, and it was a couple of international students. And so, but I really did love Morgan for that. And that was one of the reasons why I selected to go to Morgan, was because of that.
Okay.
So you selected to go to the asylum. I love it.
I did. I selected. I was like, you know what? Well, and I was familiar with Maryland. My dad, he was in like PG and DC for most of my, younger years. And so I just figured, all right, at least I'll be a little bit closer to him, and it'll be, so, it made sense.
So do you guys have like a manufacturing place in Baltimore? Since you're in Baltimore, are you? You do? Okay. So where are you actually located in Baltimore?
We're on Howard, and what's that center between Howard and Center?
So you like pretty downtownish. Oh, okay. Yeah. Is there like a store you can come in and buy, or
it is? We've been trying to figure out like, our next step and what we'll be doing to our retail shop. But we have a retail space.
I didn't know that. I got to come through. Okay. Howard and Center.
Yeah.
Did not know that. All right. And so are you staying in Baltimore? Is this your spot?
No.
Oh.
No, I do like the city. I just bought my first home here. But I have a travel bug all the time. And I've actually, I must say, and me saying this out loud, it just brings up things for me, but to think about. But I've honestly been here now for like 13, 14 years, and that's a long time. And so I think that it's going to be time sooner than later. Even I think Baltimore will be home, or a place that I will always have a home. I'll say that. But I do think it's time for me to probably venture out sooner than later. I want to go international. I love South Africa, and that's where I wanted to go before, really, I went to South Africa before I moved to Baltimore. I didn't even realize that. And so now I think that I'm getting the urge to want to either, venture there or somewhere. I'm a person that, I think that there's too big of a globe to stay anywhere for too long. And I've been here long enough. So, I think sooner or later there's change. I just don't want to move nothing. So I don't know. I got to make enough money that I could leave everything, come back when I want or something, because I'm not in a space where I actually want to pack anything up and, relocate. So I don't know if it's like temporarily, moving to a space or something, but I think sooner than later I will be.
Wow, that's hard to hear. Moving is brutal. That's first of all.
Yeah.
I hate moving. It's like it's so brutal. But wow, you said international, so you don't even want to stay in the States. You want to go.
don't. I think that, people should venture out. I really, I think it's mainly my son is almost 9 this year, and I would love for him to see. He has I've been fortunate enough for him to, travel with me to Europe, for him to see Europe and things like that. And, I think that I think there's a difference between visiting a place and actually living there for some time. And so I just think it's beautiful for the kids, to really be able to see other parts of the world and, and just to try different things, go to different schools. And I just have more of that in me now. And I also think that as a, I don't know, maybe I'm not, getting up there in age, but I mean, I guess I'm almost 40. And so getting to that age, I think I'm just starting to feel more like I don't want any physical things to kind of mold and make me navigate to wherever. I'm like, I should be able to pack a suitcase and go like this and go wherever I want in this world. So I think that's kind of the vibe that I'm on. And it's not because I don't love Baltimore. I've been here. So it'll always be home. And it's been a great part of like who I am. And it has helped to shape and mold me into the woman that I am. So I think that that's pretty dope as well.
Yeah, that is dope. Wow. But I hear no Caribbean, no Jamaica.
Moving back or accent?
No, moving back. You got it.
I mean, I go back enough and visit. I still have family there. So like, Jamaica is home. Like that's like home.
That's it.
That's where I could, rest if I needed to forever.
Okay.
Jamaica is just home. So
okay. So you're looking at not something that's familiar, but something different.
Yeah.
So I get it. I wish I said I could do something like that. That would be amazing. I don't know, but I love Baltimore.
I'm sure you can. You gotta tell everybody you out. Like, look, that's the Bible. Bye.
Well, I'm on my way to Africa. I'm on my way to Africa. I am going there.
Well,
but
good.
Yeah, I don't know to live. My mom, I just couldn't leave my mom. She would have to come with me, and I know she's not.
Bring her. Come on. Like,
so that would be it's hard to leave what you're familiar with.
It is.
But you have to expose yourself.
And I think the harder part is, especially right now with like COVID and things like that, or like the pandemic. And, even though it feels like we're shifting and moving away from it, I mean, my grandmother's here and she's getting of age, or my dad is here and he's getting of age, and my mom and stuff like that, so I do think about that, but I also don't want that to, stop me from living. I think, that's the thing that I feel as well. I don't want anyone to, kind of stop some of these things because, I think it's beautiful to be able to see. I think the hard part is before we weren't as concerned about what could happen. And then we also weren't as concerned. We're like, oh, I'll just grab a flight and head home. Now it's like, but you need a COVID test first. And you need like, it's not as quick. And it's not as, accessible. Like, so that's the only thing I get a little nervous about. Like, what if I have to run home? It might be not as easy to get home and, those things. But at the end of the day, I think that, it's not worth like us worrying about the what ifs, the couldn't, and the, it's not worth the experience. So
I agree.
Yeah. And even temporarily, like I was just saying, like, though I love my house and I just bought it and, but I'm like, maybe I don't go away for a year, or I wanted like maybe 2 years, maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's 8 months, maybe it's a shorter time frame or something.
But you're looking at it like, I'm about to leave you.
I'm going to say bye, right?
It's like, I'm about to leave you.
And it's so funny because if you ask somebody, she knows I was like, trying so much to get in here, and now I'm in here and I'm like, all right,
and it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I know it's beautiful.
But now I got that. So now it's just like, now I've checked that off and I could go do my other things.
Next thing.
So,
yeah.
I get it. Well, it's good to have that fire. Some of us, we get rooted so quickly, and then
So complacent.
you've been somewhere for 40 years. You're like, I haven't done nothing. What is
My cousin just said that. I was just like, oh, when you gonna move? And she's like, I got like 15 more years. I was like, what do you mean? Like, that sounded like a death sentence to me. I was like,
that's a long time.
I was keep you where for 15 more? I was like, oh no, I haven't even been in this house a year yet. And I'm like,
and you already looking at it.
No way.
I know.
No way. I don't even want 5 years. I don't even want 5. I'm like, I don't think that. I think we've gotten so comfortable with life. And if the pandemic hasn't taught you anything much, it's to move your feet or it will move you. And so I'm not even letting it do it. I'm like, I'm out. So you know, just
very true.
Lining out my path and figuring out how to get to the next destination.
Very true. Very, very true. So I have to ask this. I don't think I know the answer to this question. So this is a valid.
When she do like this, you better get ready. When she do
this, because I am in awe sometimes, most of the time, probably all the time, of some of the pictures that you post of yourself. Because it's aesthetically, it's like the colors and the texture and the makeup and the glasses and like so where do you get your fashion sense from, or who inspires you?
You know, I think I went through, I'm from Brooklyn, and Brooklyn is style in itself. You know, Brooklyn is a place definitely where I come from. Big gold chains and Diane von Furstenberg. Like that's me. Like that's the marriage of like mess, or Kalilah, I should say. It's not even mess. It's the marriage of Kalilah, me as a person. You know, I grew up on, you know, the streets of New York, hip hop, gold teeth, but I'm here for, you know, Manolo Blahniks and Louboutins and a Versace pant or something, you know, like, so I think that New York and Brooklyn especially is very like, you know, the urban culture, but the very like Dapper Dan, the very, you know, like Gucci loafers. Like I grew up very immersed in Fendi bags. Like my aunt had all the latest Louis Vuitton bags and all this other stuff. So, you know, I grew up around brands. And then when I went to high school, like my high school was in Manhattan, New York. So like even that, I was in New York, and you know, going to school in the city, like I would go to Saks Fifth Avenue. I would see Carolina Herrera. I would see Donna Karan, you know, Tommy Hilfiger, like all of those, Salvatore Ferragamo, like all of those stores were on the street of like my high school. So like growing up, and you couldn't tell me, like my dad, my poor father, I love him to death. So I call him every Friday. You got paid yet? Can you send me a couple dollars? I need to, and I would be in Bergdorf, and I don't know who I thought I was, but I was definitely that girl, and buying all this stuff. And so I think that now that I've gotten my own money and I ain't shopping like I used to shop, no, I think I've elevated style, and just like, you know, I've adapted a lot of style. And I think a bigger part of it is, I think I'm a very eccentric, you know, human and person. I think that, you know, to embody like fashion, style, and all this other stuff, I look at prints, I look at colors. I love black and white, but I love a pop of color. And I think that I challenge myself, you know, not purposefully, or not like, you know, I do it for fun. Like, I'm like, what things can you layer? What things can you put on? What things, and then how does it make somebody else feel? Because I think that they'll look and be like, damn, I didn't even know that would go with that, and that would go with that, and it would look like that. Like, that's what I aspire to like sort of achieve, and to make sure that I could put something together and it could be like bomb, and you'll be like, ooh. And I think that also a big thing right now, because I personally am not, you know, a huge fan of sort of the standard of beauty of what is like, you know, sort of pushed so heavily on social media. And so I think that I strive to be like, you know, so far away from that, like, you know, because I think that sexy is not like how you dress, it's how you feel, and, you know, and things like that. So for me, whenever I put something on, I'm always challenging myself with like the longest skirt and the, you know, the heel or whatever, even if it's flats, like how can it still embody and how can you feel like sexy? How can you feel bomb as heck? You know, even like as a woman, like putting on a suit and like giving like this androgynous kind of look and still like, damn, I look good, I look sexy, I look like a woman, but in men's clothing, like all of that stuff, I think, or in a men's like look, what, you know. And so that stuff I think can be I think it's intimidating for some, but I think I have fun with it. And so it's just been something that I've been embracing. And I think social media now gives us a little bit of the opportunity to kind of like, you know, for you to try out your style and for me to show people like they're not playing with me. They're not on my level. No.
I will have to say, you know, because you remember you styled one of my videos.
Oh,
you remember
yeah.
that?
Yeah, I do.
I went over to her house and she introduced me to Chanel.
Yep.
And we went over there and you know, lack of a better way of saying it, but we raided Kalilah's closet and from literally from hat to the bag. And Chanel put it all together and I made a video out of it for my Fit Tribe gear. And it was like, I would have never thought of that. All the little different combinations, I would never would have thought of that. And it was just like, and when you said, that's interesting how you said that, I want someone to look at it and be like, wow, you know, that's how I felt about the stuff I was wearing. Right. I was like, wow, you know, it's like, you know, and I've seen, you know, whether we meet in person or whether you're posting something and it just looks like it needs to be in a magazine. It's great. It's great.
Well, thank you.
Great fashion sense.
Yeah, you're such a New Yorker. I love it. All of your mannerisms, all of it. How you like, wow, that's so Brooklyn. So New York. But you know, I think what you're saying also is what you went to school for. You architect everything. You know, you see things that people don't see.
Right.
You set things up. And you have an abstract look. I'm looking at you now. You got gold hair. You got black and white glasses. And I love mess. So you're giving it in a t-shirt. Yeah, so that's just what you do. Yeah. You know, I think that's what you do. And then your personality is something too. I'm like, wow, I feel like I'm in New York talking to my cousins. You sound just like them. So architecture's out. No more buildings. No more design.
I didn't say that.
Oh, excuse me.
That part.
So you think you would go back?
I might. Ooh. I don't know what the other side of this door, you know, might hold, but I'm not limiting myself to anything. So maybe.
So you still have a look for it. Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Wow. I can see you design. Have you ever like designed houses or things like that, buildings?
I haven't really done interior or I didn't do residential designs, but I like it, you know. Definitely something I've considered. So
yeah. And you spend time. Like if you get your master's in something, then you really can do it.
Master of it, yeah.
Yeah, you're a master of it. So wow. Okay. So I don't want you to leave Baltimore. Please don't leave Baltimore.
I know. The city has definitely embraced me and loved me, and I'm really appreciative of that for sure.
Yeah, don't leave. We don't want you to leave. Don't take mess out of
these winters. I can't. And I don't like
Florida. I'm with you on that. These winters is getting on my nerves.
These winters, I'm like, no, I need warm.
I'm with you on that. I'm telling you, the older you get, these bones want warm. You know, I was down south for the for Christmas. It was 75 degrees.
Love it.
This is. They had on flip-flops. I came up here and I was like, this is too much.
Unnecessary. It's ghetto.
You know, it's so tropical down south. My mom lives in Charleston, and sometimes I'm wondering, like, I see why they love this weather. I can't take the hurricane season. That's my problem. Right. The hurricane season is my issue, but I do want some warmer weather.
For sure.
Yeah, some definite warmer weather. So you have a son.
I do.
And that's beautiful. So does he design things? What is he doing? What do you see in him?
Design as much. I see that I don't know. I think he might still venture into business. He gets a lot from me. And so I it's just been really nice where, you know, he understands the business side, and I think he's enjoying to see me, like, you know, I think he knows about ownership, you know, employees, and, you know, all of that. So I think that's definitely a good thing for him.
I think it's so important because, you know, we're the first generation of Africans who can do this for our children.
Yeah.
We're the first generation that can hire Black people.
Right.
And so, and to be able to show our young folks business in their homes is, you know, is a building block for our community as a whole.
Right.
And, you know, and I just love to see us entrepreneurs, and just like when you go into Korean carryout, they got their children in there.
Yeah.
And, you know, and we have to do that. You know, that's how you put greatness in your children. They see it. Sometimes you can tell them a lot, but they got to see it and feel it. And so I love to hear when mothers and fathers are doing that, because we are the first group that can, and we have to do it. And it's important. We need business owners. Our young people need, and the world is changing. It's not going to be a lot of jobs. You got to create your space. You know, technology tells you that you have to create spaces. So I love to see a 9-year-old understanding business. So by 15, he might want a business, you know, and start in your house. I wish I had that. I would be, they'd be like, I'll be Tesla, the Black Tesla. Because I would have created so much earlier, you know, but, you know, it's good to see that. It's definitely good to see that. I mean, I'm really excited to meet you.
Thank you.
So glad you came on. You're so
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we have to do something together. Yeah, definitely. I want to do something with the mess. I want to give a message out here.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to come down to the store. I didn't even know there was a store in this city.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I'll let you guys know the next time. We've been trying to figure out for Q2 like our openings, and if we'll be, you know, we're just trying to figure out like that now. Post pandemic, you know, what our schedule is looking like.
So the retail store was not open.
No, we do like kind of pop-ups on weekends, and, you know, so kind of specialty. Like, so we do a couple of different times a month we open up.
Okay. You doing some partnerships with like big companies. So how do those come? Do they just call you, or how does that work? They just call you and say, I want some mess?
They do.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting. That's exciting. And you go to the Essence Fest. I love the Essence Fest.
Yeah, we might do it again this year. We've been a couple years, so.
I went for the first time, I think, in 2019. I never seen that many Black people walking through.
People. But I really like New Orleans. Like, I love their food.
I love New Orleans. Me too.
Really nice city.
And a lot of culture, a lot of Black culture.
Yeah. I appreciate that about there.
I will tell you a quick story. I was down there for the first time for Essence Fest, and my friends was like, we're going to a swamp meet. So I'm thinking I'm in LA. You know, the swamp meet, you sell clothes.
Right.
Yeah. So we go near the water. I'm like, where is the swamp meet? Where's the people?
They got crawfish or something?
They freaking gators. We got on this boat, and the gate, and you know, I didn't know that alligators like marshmallows. Did you know that?
No.
So we were riding, and I was like, "No, we're not. No, my mom, only child. You got me looking at some gators. Only gators go on my feet." So I was just like, "What am I doing?" Because I thought I was going to buy some clothes. I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna get some fly New Orleans gear, some different stuff." So we get on the water, and there's no gators in sight. So the guy said, "We're gonna make them all come." So he takes out these marshmallows, sis. He put these marshmallows he threw like 4 in the water. All you saw was eyes.
Oh my God.
They came from everywhere.
Wow.
I never moved. I said like, because I said, if you get me out of here, you don't have to worry about me again. But I never seen that many just come out of the blue, and they love marshmallows. They fight over them. I'm like, who knew that? But that's a quick story. New Orleans, what an amazing space. I've never been to a place like that. So yeah, I saw alligators as a Black woman. That's a lot. So, yeah, that's definitely a lot. So we almost out of here. Amaadi, I know you're familiar. Anything you want to say? I think I've asked all I want to ask.
I guess we can close with, if you would like to share future plans or, what
Yep.
direction Mess is headed in.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much
Okay.
I think we should end
Yes.
with.
So we have our T classes. We teach other people in the community how to start and create their own t-shirt company. So that's the tclass.com. And right now we don't have any, we might have some collaborations coming up. We might have the store opening coming up. Sky's the limit. I'm just trying to figure out day to day, like what's next and what does my heart tell me and where's my feet gonna, go to. So
Awesome.
I like that. You just let it come to you. You don't force it.
nope.
Okay, so we always end a show with a jewel. So we want you to leave something for the people. You leave an inspiration jewel, your jewel, Mess jewel.
A mess jewel is failure is progress. So it means that, whatever you're doing, don't be afraid to fail at it because it will mean that you're still moving forward.
Great jewel.
Awesome. I'm not gonna follow that. Don't ask.
Because I was coming. Like, don't even do it.
Back off of that one.
Yeah, I would step to the left. That was wow. That was nice. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen. It has been a pleasure meeting you. This has been a great interview. You are just a lot. You got a lot of flavor going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't wait to see what you're gonna do. But I know I can't even guess what you're going to do because it seems like, you do what you want to do, how you want to do it. So that's a beautiful place to be. I love to see a Black woman doing that. So I'm impressed. Very nice to meet you.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks for coming to the Black Box Radio platform.
Thanks, Kalilah.
You're welcome.
FiTT TWiNz. Yeah. I wish we could work out together, but I'm not running, guys. Y'all gotta get a bike. Y'all gotta get a bike. I'm sorry.
You have a bike, Kalilah?
I do, but the tires are flat, child. I don't be used to that thing. I bought it because
the tire is flat.
I bought it because it's colorful and pretty, and that was it. I just want to look at it. I wasn't gonna really use it. So
what's the brand?
Oh, I don't know. It has like a green wheel, blue handles. Like it's real.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, we can go get some tires. So
right.
Yeah, Black women on bikes. So y'all gotta get a bike for sure. And you gotta indeed that little tricycle you ride. You need a bike too. You gotta get rid of that tricycle.
I just need to change the seat.
Yeah, the seat. Yeah. So it'd be nice to work out together and build. But listen, it's a pleasure having you. And
guys,
we are boxed up and out. Can I get some deuces? We out. Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.